Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our latest live video. So I'm delighted to say we're doing something a little bit different today. We're going to do what we do normally, our how-to webinars, but we're going to do it on, as you can see, on a live video on our various platforms. So I'm delighted that Michelle from SocialSendr is with us, and I'll get Michelle to introduce herself in a minute. But as always with these videos, if you do have any questions or any comments to make as we go through, please do put it in the comment box, and we'll try and cover them as much as we can. Michelle's going to give us a demonstration of SocialSendr in a few minutes' time. Show very quickly, it'll take 6-7 minutes or so, I think, to go through that. But I'm obviously happy to answer any questions as well. So before we go into that, I'll hand it over to Michelle if you want to kind of introduce yourself and just give a brief overview actually what SocialSendr is.
Yeah, hi Michael, and thanks for having me, and hello to everybody else. My name is Michelle Cowan, and I'm the Managing Director and co-founder of Justo Software, which is the home of SocialSendr. We developed SocialSendr to help small businesses, sole traders and freelancers that were struggling with social media. Basically, what the app does is we've created lots and lots of content by industry. So we've got over 6,000 individual pieces of content in the back end of the app, and you can take that content and you can edit it, you can change the picture, you can change the words, you can add your own hashtags, you can add your own URL, and I'll show you all this. But you can also, if you just want to save on time and have a presence, you can just push our content out to your social channels. So we post to LinkedIn, Facebook and Twitter.
Brilliant, Michelle. Thank you. I'm looking forward to see it. So before we go into the demo, I'm just really interested to know, why did you set up SocialSendr? What was the background story to that?
Yeah, when I'd kind of quit my corporate career 4 years ago, I was taking some time out, and I funnily enough, I'd gone to have my nails done, and I was speaking to the girl that owned the salon that I'd known for a long time, and we were chatting about how she could perhaps get a bit more involved in social media. And she basically said to me, I haven't got the time, I don't know what to write, and I can't afford to pay somebody. And so that got me really thinking about how I could level the playing field for these really small businesses that were struggling with social media and did have the same concerns that she actually had. And actually, since we've developed the product, the biggest challenge that most people face is not the time and it's not the money, it's generally the inspiration and coming up with ideas and not knowing what to post and not having the confidence to post. So what we're hoping with the app is that we're sort of leveling up, giving those sole traders and freelancers a chance to get involved and giving them the confidence to start, use our stuff and then progress and start editing and put more of your own stamp on it, really.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, you kind of briefly touched on it there, but who are the type of people using your app? Who's the ideal type of businesses for it?
We're really, our ideal customer is the freelancer, the sole trader, the very small business owner that are operating in spaces where we've got lots of content. So it might be an accountant, a bookkeeper, somebody in finance, a business person, marketing, fitness, beauty, health, medical, legal, HR, recruitment. Those are our kind of core industries that we focus on, and we've just recently added travel. So for anybody who's got a holiday let or basically a holiday let that they want to get some social going on that.
Well, that makes sense. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and kind of show us, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of got everything crossed right now that that my internet stays good and I can do the demo. So this is our website. If you want to access the product, it's a web-based application, so you access it from the website, and here you can click on the buttons. We have a 14-day free trial, try me for free, and here's where you log in when you've set up your account. So I'm just going to walk you through a quick onboarding. Now we've got this little lady here and we've just put her in to try and guide you through the onboarding, and we want to make it as simple as possible. We're not a big enterprise class application. We are a tool for small business owners. So you can use this on your laptop or your desktop computer, or you can also have it as an app on your iPhone. So I'm just going to quickly put in some details and set up an account, and then I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay. Here we are, registration failed, so that's the first part of the demo that went wrong. I'm just going to, I think I probably put in the password wrong. Here we go. So let's just say I'm a bookkeeper. So I'm going to look for the industry that's closest aligned to mine. So I'm just going to click accountancy. So we're just picking one primary. If you don't see your industry in this primary feed, don't worry, just leave it blank, and I'll get to that. Because here you're asked about what other things you're interested in. So you can pick lots of stuff. So if your industry doesn't show in the primary, there might be other stuff in the secondary that is aligned to your business. So you might be a small clothing boutique, in which case you would pick fashion. So I'm going to pick some other stuff that are of interest to me because I'm a bookkeeper. Now, I created a lot of the content, so I know what's in there. I know that motivation is really a nice one, and fun is really quite good. Fun's full of things like, bring your dog to work day, or it's donut week. We've got every single awareness day in this app that you can think of, but we've also got other content. So it's not just awareness days, but the awareness days are really good at grabbing attention on the actual day. So let's go for frequency. We'll go for every day. And here is where I connect my social channels. So I can only post to Facebook business pages and LinkedIn company pages, not individual accounts. So I need to be the admin on those accounts to be able to connect to the business and company pages. So that's why you see 2 Facebook icons and 2 LinkedIn icons. I'm going to leave that blank for now. Here I can add hashtags. So let's do accounting, and I'm based in Yorkshire. And here I can add my website. If you've not got a website, you don't have to add it. You can leave it blank. You can leave the hashtags blank because you can always add those in later. Now, there's a big kind of debate about whether to put a URL in a social media post right now. So, I've got customers that sometimes have it on, sometimes don't, and some that don't have it on at all, and some that have it on all the time. And then here, I'm just going to put my personal details in. And off we go. Here is just your standard, how do you want to be communicated with us? And next it takes me to the subscription page. And here I'm offered 2 options, the monthly $9.99 or the annual $99.99. I'm going to stop right there because I'm not gonna subscribe. I'm going to go straight into a demo for you. So here's one that I created earlier. And just bear with me while I log in. Sorry about this. I've got a password memory problem. I'm consulting my book now with my passwords in, which is probably not the safest place to keep all my passwords. I'm going to go into another one. Okay, so this is an accounting account. This is the homepage which it would take you to on entry. Now I'm just going to quickly show you the settings, and you'll see what we've actually put in the setup and where you can change it if you want to go back. So some people don't want to post every day. This account's set up for every day. You can have any combination that you want. Feed settings, same as before. The other stuff that I tagged on, I actually put on fun and not quotes. So let's just change that one. And connect to the social channels. When it loads up. Already connected. And then the general settings, we've got a few hashtags in here that this is an account that is actually live, and he doesn't have a website, so that remains blank. Now, based on the preferences that we've picked, everything that appears above the line, so the post that you see at the top with the yellow background, that post actually went out to the Bransons accountants, Twitter and Facebook this morning at 10 o'clock. Now, everything that's below the line, this is what the app's giving me as choices for other posts. So other things based on my secondaries that are happening today. Now, say for instance, if I wanted this one, which is today, it's International Nurses Day, I could just click on that post, click on the green button, and I've promoted it, so it's actually going to schedule, but you'll see that it's scheduled for 10 o'clock. So I'm just going to click on it, click on the grey edit button, and I'm going to change it to 5 o'clock tonight. Okay, and save that. So that's scheduled to go out at 5 o'clock tonight. Actually, I'm thinking, I've got a picture of a nurse that I can use, so let me use my own picture. So let's go back in and edit it. You could do this all at the same time. If I click on this red button here, I can delete this picture and add my own picture. I can also change the words, and I can also decide that I don't want it on certain platforms. Say, I just want that to go out to Twitter, so let's deselect Facebook and LinkedIn. That post will now only go out on Twitter. And let's remove a couple of hashtags just for this post. So I can do anything with this in terms of editing it, and you can do that with all the posts. And what we encourage people is to make sure that if you are using images from the internet, make sure that you use free stock photography and check that you don't have to give an attribute to the photographer or the creative that's created it. Also, if you've got pictures of your business, think pictures of your office, your work environment, those pictures always work better than the pictures that we've got, because your audience can engage and relate more to you being yourself and the brand. Now I'm going to scroll through. I can go to tomorrow now, and I can see that this quote has been chosen. So that one's going to go out at 10 o'clock tomorrow. But say, for instance, I didn't like it, I could just click on it and I could move it down. So that's now down here. It won't post. And I can say, actually, let's have a scroll through and see what else is happening. Quite like, actually, I don't think any of them are accountancy kind of related, but this cocktail day one might be a fun one that you want to put in and change the words around. Well, actually, at 6 o'clock today, I'm having a gin and tonic. So you can see, you can have a scroll through, you can decide what you want. I tend to go in once a month and just edit my stuff once a month, because I like to just change some of the words, change a few of the pictures, and I'll get into adding your own stuff. I can scroll through this calendar and I can see up to 30 days ahead. So I can plan ahead for at least a month. If I want to know what's going out, I can click on this icon at the bottom with the 9 dots. It shows me a calendar review of what's scheduled, and you'll see that one for today that's in pale blue. That's because I've added that post to today. So anything that's in the teal colour is the post that the app has automated. Everything that appears in light blue, I've either changed the time or I've changed the post. If I click on this hamburger menu on the left-hand side, I can actually see what's gone out over the last 14 days and actually what's coming up over the next 14 days. So 30 days. So I can see I've got a really nice feed of content going out without actually having to really do anything. Now, John, whose account this is, claims he hasn't got time for social media. He believes that he needs a presence on social media, that it's no longer a nice to have. And so he's quite happy that this is going out into his social media. And if he gets engagement, great. But what he is doing is reminding people that he's there and he's consistent with it. So I'll go back to the home page. See at the bottom here, we've got this new button. If I click on this new button, I can create my own posts. So here I can type in what I want. If I click on this camera icon, I can upload a photograph. I can decide if I want it on all 3 platforms or just Facebook. Let's click them back on. I can change the hashtags up. So if I didn't want them, I'd just click on them once and they grey out, and I can add my own, say, new tag. And then also, if I want to add a web link, so for my business, we have a sign up for a free newsletter where we give free content away on a weekly basis. So I would put a different web link in for that post, which is the link to the subscribe to our newsletter website. This is where it gets really interesting. You can repeat weekly, monthly, or yearly. So say, for instance, I created a post. I wanted to remind everybody that we do a weekly newsletter, and here's the sign up. So we say, actually, I don't want it to go out on a Wednesday. Let's say Friday. And I can say, I want it to occur weekly on a Friday at, not this time, but let's say 10 o'clock. Ends on never. That post will go out every Monday, every Friday, reminding people we've got a newsletter until I stop it. So really good for recurring posts. If you've got anniversaries of the business, people in the business who've got a birthday, key dates for you that are important to you, you can just put them in the app and forget about them. And that is basically it, Mike. So I don't know if you want to open up for questions.
Yeah, so we had a couple of questions as you were going through that, Michelle, which I'll come to first, if that's all right. So put it on the screen. So Phil asked a good question about, are there any issues with duplicate content? And of course, people seeing the same things being recycled?
Yeah, there is. So say, for instance, we had 2 accountants in the same town, and they'd picked exactly the same preferences. They would be sending out their own content. What we do encourage is that as you get used to the app, to really start optimizing. And with optimizing, we mean, start using your own photos, your own images, make your own templates in Canva and upload your own and make it your own. Now, myself and my business partner have written most of the content, so it's in my tone of voice. Now, we've kind of adapted it for different industries, so the beauty content has a different tone of voice to the fitness content, to the legal content. So we've tried to adapt the tone of voice, but really, you need to look at the words and sort of think, does that sound like me? Especially if you're a freelancer and you are the brand. And using the hashtags will differentiate you to a point. But yeah, we do have the problem with duplication. But saying that, I mean, I've picked accountancy for this one. We've probably got more accountants and bookkeepers that use the app than any other sector, and it doesn't seem to bother them. So I would say it is a challenge. It is something that we will look at in the future, but not in the short term. And we just encourage people to use their own images.
I think what you said right at the start, Michelle, it was very relevant. It's an inspirational tool, really, isn't it? It's to get you started. Most people when you're trying to create your own social media, it's starting. It's the first place where they don't. I think that's the real benefit, isn't it, for most people?
Yeah, and it isn't. And Mike, we've got customers that use our app that don't actually connect to any of their social accounts. They just use the app to check on a daily basis, actually, what's happening today? What's happening in my industry today? Is there something that I could just kind of use it as an idea and make my own stuff?
Yeah.
So, you know, we've got virtual assistants that use it. We've got social media managers that use it, none of whom connect to their own accounts.
Interesting. So it's giving them the ideas, basically.
Yeah. I've also got a couple of customers that actually only use the scheduling. So they schedule their own posts. They don't actually use my posts. They find it's easy. It's an easy to use app. We've tried to make it as simple as possible. We do get asked questions, you know, why don't you connect to Instagram? Why don't you have analytics? Can you do this? We just want to make it really straightforward. You know, from an Instagram point of view, it's a highly curated platform. We don't feel that our content is necessarily appropriate for that platform. And also, you know, if you're kind of a user on Instagram, you're probably doing quite well with social media.
That makes sense. Yeah. So Sabrina asked a question as well about. So, well, firstly, starts off nicely saying this looks amazing.
Thank you.
She's asked about switching her LinkedIn account to a business one without starting again, as she's only got a personal account at the moment. So, I think I can answer that question. But if you want to answer it, Michelle, you can.
Yeah, so your company account is a kind of an add-on to your personal account on LinkedIn. And Sabrina, I can literally show you in a 5-minute call how to set up a company page. It's so easy. And there's some really nice things happening around LinkedIn company pages right now. So lots of people don't see the value. We kind of say, look, if you post into the LinkedIn company page, you know, share with your own commentary. And also lots of people don't know that you can invite your connections to like your company page, which obviously gets you a bit more wider. But I'd happily do another session with you, Sabrina, if you want to go through that.
Yeah, LinkedIn company pages, they've added a lot of functionality in the last kind of 3 to 6 months, haven't they? In terms of, like you said, inviting your connections or the analytics around it as well, and various other things. There seems to be doing more and more with that. So it appears like LinkedIn are putting a bit more of an emphasis on company pages than they ever have done previously.
They are, and I found that hashtags work really well for me on LinkedIn. You know, just in the way that you can follow certain hashtags that you don't tend to do that on other platforms, except for Instagram, say, for instance. But the way that LinkedIn have set up their hashtag following, I think is really powerful. Well, and we're getting a lot of traction from that.
Yeah, so I'm not an expert on this, but I know that many people might have seen that recently LinkedIn have had this creator mode for your personal LinkedIn account now. I literally got it yesterday, so I've seen this now. And one of the things you do when you set your creator mode up is essentially put some of your own hashtags that are going to be commonly used in there. So it feels like LinkedIn are pushing hashtags more than they probably again ever were before.
Yeah, I'm not a LinkedIn expert, Mike, but you know, I'm a great believer in trial and error, and the algorithms change so often with all the platforms. It's like once you get one thing right, you need to change something else again. So just need to keep trying different things, and if something works for you, stick with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the last question for me, Michelle, is if someone wants to kind of have a look and try this, what's the best thing to do? How the best going about that?
So the best thing to do is to go to our website, which is SocialSendr.com. You can click on any of the red buttons to try it for free. If anybody wants another session once they've signed up, I'm more than happy to do a 15-minute chat and talk them through, is everything set up properly, and just try and guide them so they can get the most out of the 14-day free trial. And clearly, if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, you can cancel it.
Okay. Just had another question, actually, Michelle, if that's all right. I read that. So Paul has asked a question. He's responsible for uploading the social media posts for a company, and looks ideal for them. Does this work on multiple LinkedIn pages, or would we need to have different subscriptions per division?
Yeah, good question. You need an individual subscription for each division, and the reason for that, and I'll go back to sort of our why, which is really we set up to provide a business tool for sole traders and freelancers. Now, that's not to say that in the future we won't try and come up with, you know, an agency model, but right now that's not part of the plan. So you would need different accounts for different departments.
Thank you, Paul. Great question. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. So I do know, like I said, a number of people might be watching this video after the live, maybe later today or another day. If they want to kind of get a hold of you as well, Michelle, where's the best places, apart from the obvious being social media, this discussion?
Yeah, LinkedIn probably. Yeah. So just send me a connection on LinkedIn and I'll get in touch that way. That's probably the best. Or they can email me at michelle@socialsendr.com.
Yeah, and well, I'll add to that as well. So if anyone, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to find Michelle, but if you can't for whatever reason, you know, let me know, Northern Affinity, and we've got all the details and we can pass that on. So more than happy to do that if needed, but I'm sure that will be necessary. Yeah, so thank you, Michelle. Thank you for that demonstration. It's really, I think it's been really, really useful. And thank you guys for the questions. Like I said, anyone's got them later date, please feel free to put them to us and we'll pass them on. So yeah, this video, if anyone wants to watch it back at any time, it'll be going on our YouTube page probably later today as well, and on the website. So if you want to watch it, you can do. And yeah, lastly, just thank you very much, Michelle, for your time. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Thank you.